It's a wonderful evening. What is going on, Mr. Tucci? In the world out there, it's the brain of the mainframe, Nile Scala, here for episode 30 of Crowdfunding Comics. Billy Tucci, my buddy, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Only 4 shows this week, and it's like I haven't seen you. I love it.
Well, perhaps I think we saved the best for last because we got two superstars here. We've got Macho Dano and the Mutt-Man coming to you for our 30th episode. Holy crap, now we've reached 30 episodes.
30 episodes.
Crazy. And I just want to thank all you crowdfunding centurions and crusaders across this mighty nation and across the fruited plain. That is the world. That is our world.
that we're conquering.
Yes.
So how's your day been, buddy?
Dude, it's been busy. It's been crazy, man. Put together a whole bunch of stuff. I have my whiteboard over there, putting together our Zombie Sama Sketch Edition. Get that to the printer, which it's at there now. Finished a cover for a publisher. Designed our Boudoir Edition for San Diego Comic-Con. Gee whiz.
That's going to be incredible. I saw that logo. You're going to put that together? Oof.
Yeah,
that is going to be...
That was the boudoir strip, the booby strip.
Yes.
That's to cover over it because...
Boobies.
But I think if people come to us in San Diego, we're going to ask them for a little secret thing. And, you know, like, I got to come up with a password. Like I said, like maybe the bluebird flies tomorrow or something. And then if they come up to us and say, the bluebird flies tomorrow, then we reach underneath the table at San Diego and hand them one of the...
What about, like, mountain peaks glisten? And then they do this gesture.
Oh, I like that.
Mountain peaks glisten. And then you pull out the book.
The mountain peaks of Western Virginia. Not West Virginia, but Western Virginia, like our two guests.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, let's get to it. This is our 30th episode. Our guests tonight have made it to our show by gathering their wolf pack, performing the flying elbow drops, and ripping the throats out of some commies, some Russian commies and some Chai coms. So who's with you, brother? Oh, yeah. Can we say hello to Macho Dano and the Mutt-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, brother.
What's up?
What is going on, guys?
What's up, fellas?
Hey, brothers.
Well,
What's going on?
All right, everyone grab their Slim Jims.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
I think we have to have a lot of Randy Savage quotes today and some references to him because we just have to. You know, this is going to be a great one. Hey, guys, I just want to say I know you got 2 days left to your Kickstarter. Your very first Indiegogo project, not a Kickstarter, your very first crowdfunded book. And you guys did it right. It's 48 pages, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Right, but you also didn't ask for $20,000 or so. You want a small amount of number just so you can get it. You surpassed that. So now you're almost at $5,000, and if you got 2 days left, and you got 140 backers, and man, you guys are living the dream, and you're realizing your comic book dream coming true. And I'm telling you, your books are just going to keep growing. The next one, when you do HIRO, Blood of Patriots 2, or Blood of Commies, which I'd rather see.
Yeah.
It'll surpass it even more. But if we may introduce, we have Macho Dano. You are the creator and the writer of HIRO, Blood of Patriots. You're a professional mountain biker. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Star Wars. We'll get into that about the whole Star Wars thing. Macho Man Randy Savage. Can I get it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and chromium comic book covers. But in real life, though, you've spent 11 years as a marketing and event management, and you were joined by your partner in crime, the Mutt-Man.
Yeah. That's right.
Who is your co-creator and the artist of HIRO, Blood of Patriots, and you've had 15 years as of project management, graphic design, and marketing. And by God, boys, it shows because you can see it in the book, you see it in the page for your very first crowdfunded book, your very first Indiegogo. Man, it looks like you've been doing this for a long time. So welcome aboard, and I'll turn it over to my pal Nile.
Yeah, so guys, first I got to ask, you guys have a couple of great names here. So Mutt-Man, how did this name originate?
You can blame some of my college buddies for that. They started calling me Mutt for some weird reason one night, and it stuck. And you know how it is with a bunch of guys. Once they laugh at something, it becomes funny. They don't let it go. So here I am today. 25 years later, I'm still the Mutt-Man. So I just kind of like hung on to it and kind of made it my own thing.
Nice.
That's awesome. And Macho Dan, I have a feeling I may know where the name comes from, but Please.
Well, Dan, as you know, is a great rhyming name. You can rhyme it with almost anything. And my brother above me there, Mutt, likes to take my name and just create as many nicknames as possible. And Macho Dan was one of those.
Yeah.
And that one is like that. It stuck. It felt right, and it looked right, and I went with it.
Awesome.
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, guys, this is your first comic book, your
Yep.
first Indiegogo crowdfunding project. But let's get to know you a little bit. I mean, what is I want to hear your origin stories. What led you guys to this journey? Were you always into comics? Was something that came in later at life? I'll just go Mutt-Man first.
Okay.
Spill it out.
Well, I've always been into comics ever since I was a little kid. When I was 13 years old, I decided I wanted to do that sometime with my life. You know, it was my dream to be a comic book artist. I was way into, 90s comics, all the cool, birth of Image and all of that kind of stuff. So I was right there. It was my wheelhouse. Ever since then, I wanted to do it. Me and Macho kind of became friends a little bit later in life. Our wives were friends and our kids were friends. And we started talking. And one day he was like, I got this comic book collection with a bunch of comics. And I was like, what? You got comic book collection? Dude. And then all of a sudden it was like, that Step Brothers, where they said, are we best friends now? And it's like, yep.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
That's it.
But do you
it
have a
happened
drum
just
set?
like that. Yeah, we go over and play drums at Mutt's house.
Yeah,
That's
don't
right.
touch his drums.
And that never happens. It's usually like, one of them things. Oh, yeah. So I collect comic books, and it's like, oh, hey,
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe it was somebody else, but
That's been everybody else in my life. So,
Awesome.
but yeah. And me, I was a little bit, I don't know. I was probably, I grew up, or I was born in '83. The movie Aliens actually is what, what's
I
that?
was born in '83 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
What's your birthday?
Who was born in 83?
What's your birthday?
December 30th, 1984.
Oh,
84!
I'm January 12th, '83.
What is it? What?
January 12th.
Oh, see,
You're like a whole year older than me.
Yeah.
I'm August 13th, 1983.
Yeah, but Billy, what are you, 81? 80?
What? Born in '81?
Yeah.
Yes, I was born in 1981.
That's why we're all 80s
A
babies.
spring chicken, yeah.
Very
Well-
good here, Nile. Again, I'm sorry. So
No, you're good. So I saw the movie Aliens, and I wanted more aliens, and around that time, it was like in the early '90s. Dark Horse was doing a lot, and there was a run by Sam Keith. It was like Alien Earth War, and I remember picking up one of those books, and it was everything I wanted from the movie in this different format, and I could just read as many as possible, and it just got me hooked. I eventually moved to Marvel, Image, and fell in deep from there. So it's been downhill ever since.
Yeah.
nice. Now, guys, being that you're kids of the '90s, and Mutt-Man, you were talking about your Image books. Did you have a favorite, favorite Marvel book, or favorite Marvel character, or favorite Image book?
Oh yeah, I was a big X-Men guy in the late '80s, early '90s. Loved Spider-Man 2. McFarlane was awesome. So when I saw him going over to do Spawn, I immediately went to Spawn. And I loved Wildcats too by Jim Lee. I was a big Jim Lee guy back in those days. So kind of those. I was a big kind of I liked Eric Larson's Savage Dragon too at the time. So I was way in there. Oh yeah. I did.
I like Eric Larson. I've been to Mexico with him. I've been to a couple of shows, and I don't know, man. He kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
His weird drawing hand freaks me out.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And I remember asking, "Oh my God!" And he draws like this.
Yeah,
he's like doing that.
Yeah.
So weird.
And it's like wow, and he's a nice guy and all, but like I said, his books freak me out. They really do.
Yeah.
I still think he has the best Venom. I think his Venom was the best.
He's a super genius, or he's going to be a mass murderer someday.
Oh,
you heard
man.
it here first, folks.
You know what, though? That's funny that you say that, though, because I even noticed, like, once Spawn came out, I mean, everyone did. Like, we all transitioned. Everyone had Spawn.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Even, like, people I grew up with that didn't like comics, They had
Yep.
Spawn. Everyone had Spawn. It's
Yep.
crazy. So guys, I have to ask. Now I see you guys on Twitter, this and that. You guys have a great following, and you guys are proudly part of the group, the thing of Comicsgate. So, I mean, what is Comicsgate to you guys?
I'll go first if you don't mind, Macho.
That's all right.
To me, Comicsgate is a movement away from the large media groups into the indie scene. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much all it is. I don't really think of Comicsgate necessarily like a clubhouse. I think of it more like a marketplace movement, and the market is shifting. And if you're a part of that shift, then you're basically a part of Comicsgate. And a lot of that comes from identity politics that have been shoved into Marvel and DC Comics, and people are not liking that. And so they're looking to the indie market to find newer and better things. And so, yeah, I'm a part of Comicsgate. I'm a part of the indie comics revolution.
Yeah, and you can call it what you want, and name stick and all. And I remember, when I was listening when I first talked to Ethan about it, and I was like, man, that's a terrible name. He was, but he's like, we're gonna change, we're gonna turn that name and make it into a positive thing.
Right.
And there's a lot of hills and dales about it, a lot of missteps. People come and go within the movement, embrace the movement for one reason or another. Yeah. But what I think is what's so interesting about it is that it is like the 90s. It is almost like Image again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That people were stagnated with the big two, and then all of a sudden here's these guys, these top creators or top artists for the most part, Marvel and DC, decided to say, what the hell with you guys? You guys are making millions of dollars off of our books. Why can't we do it?
Yeah.
And right. They doing it themselves. And, so what's really cool about, if you go with Comicsgate or you go with crowdfunding comics, it's really like punk rock now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like garage bands popping up all over the place.
Yeah. And you could see how it started, that there was a lot of political parts. It was really political when it first started. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of backlash, a lot of people fighting over it and all. And it seems that subsided. There has been a lot of people trying still to stop this particular movement, which I think now, because there is no leader of the movement, it's just a thing. It's almost like taking on a life of its own. And you really don't hear that. I mean, the detractors try to say it and really hit into it. But from what I've seen in my research, especially in the past couple of months or so, is that there are people from every shape, every color, every creed, every gender, being a part of and they're just like, hey, you know what? This is like punk rock. I want to make a comic like you guys,
Yeah, exactly.
Before you guys, and not only did you never work for a comic book publisher, you never published a comic.
That's right.
That's sort of like what I did. That's why I like it, because nobody would hire me. They wanted me to try to draw like Jim Lee. I met with an editor. He's like, well, if you could draw this, and showed me Travis Charest was drawing Jim Lee. It was like a Flash annual or something like that. And the art was gorgeous. I'm like, I can't do that. There's no way I could draw like Jim Lee. But then again, a part of me is like, fuck you. I'm Billy Tucci. I don't want to draw. So I want to draw like me. So that's why, this whole crowdfunding revolution that's happened has really inspired me. And talking from Brian Pulido or Jimmy Palmiotti or Ethan or, Mitch, the Brightwisers and stuff, and you guys. And first, you have these well-established comic creators doing this, but now you have these guys that are fans.
Yeah.
And you know what? And Mutt-Man, you're saying, damn it, man, I want to make a comic book, and I'm going to make a comic book. And then you put yourselves out there to the fans. You really literally put yourselves out there to the consumer. Mm-hmm. You're not going through a distributor. You're not going through a retailer. You're the ones putting your creativity and your own personas out there, and people have responded. Right. And it's pretty great. And the book looks fantastic, Macho. It really looks great. Yeah. You did a fantastic job on it.
Well, you can thank Mutt for that artwork, but I'll take credit for the writing.
Wait, I thought you. Oh, Mutt drew it.
Mutt
drew it, and I'm the writer. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'll take credit for it. He doesn't need to get his head any bigger anyway. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Like I said, it's been a long day. I apologize, my friend.
No problem at all. No problem at all. And hey, you're right, 100%. Like we saw this opportunity, and it's like, man, why can't we? That was the question. Why not?
Yep.
And we had this idea. We thought it was cool. Yeah, we could probably try to sell it to a small publisher, but why not just do it ourselves? And we started looking at it. We both got experience like you were describing before, where we felt like, well, we could definitely market the thing. And then we have done a lot of big projects where we've had to do fulfillment. We could do fulfillment too. I can do the art. You can write. Let's just do it, man. And we just jumped in with both feet. And, quite frankly, it's not easy.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely not easy.
Once you get in, you find out. Like once you commit and you get in deep into the pool. You got to learn to swim quick. And so we've been doggy paddling for a while. But we're starting to get our strokes down.
Oh yeah, you guys are butterflying it, man.
Yeah, you guys are on the right track. And I mean, and as first time comic creators stuff. I mean, and I say this to everyone out there. I mean, all the tools are out there, but you got to put the dedication. So I mean, did you guys find it easy to get out there and see like, oh yeah, the tools to do this is here, the tools to do that's here. We can put this together.
Yeah, I mean, Mutt did a lot of the campaign, like obviously the imagery you're seeing. I spent a lot of time on the Indiegogo page, but the biggest thing and the biggest tool that we found was like the whole YouTube market, using different creators that have streams and making ourselves available to people as fans and as backers. That we just want to be approachable and we want to be friendly and genuine to everyone. Yeah. And I think that that's really important. And I think that's a big reason as to why a lot of these Comicsgate projects are succeeding, is because there's a lot of really genuine people out there that love the craft of creating and building a world and selling it. And we love doing that too, and we wanted to show that through in the book, and I think people have seen that, and that's why they're purchasing it. And I think that's why the movement in general is working, is because you're seeing that you're not going through this this filter of Marvel or DC or Image or whatever. You're getting directly to the person that is providing the product, and there's something about that that's special, and it like feels different. Even like when you get the book, it feels different, and it's kind of a special part of the whole process, and I really enjoy it from my perspective.
So I mean, what does crowdfunding mean to you guys? Like, what has it really shown?
I guess for us, or for me at least. It's an outlet, number one. I've always been a creative guy, and I've done world building or story, like short stories and things like that, but it was always for myself. And this still is, to a point for myself as well, selfishly, because I want to make this comic. But it feels good. It's like very therapeutic almost to get it and put it out there. And, selfishly, it feels good for people to enjoy it and tell you that your thing is good. Yeah. But it's also, it was a new experience. It was a new challenge. And it was something that I think is important for, kind of professional development. And if you're a creative person, you're going to know that there's an urge to do something. Like you have this urge to make something, and sometimes you don't know what it is, right? But you have it, and you need to get it out. And this was that outlet that we needed. And it not only fulfilled that professional development and those goals and that strive to do something greater, but it helped scratch that itch, that creative itch. And it was it's kind of been a really cool journey to be part of, the whole crowdfunding scene and meeting people and making networking. And I mean, it's really cool. Getting on with you guys. A big bonus.
Thank you. And Mutt-Man, I'd love to. I want to ask you that same question too. I mean, what is crowdfunding to you?
It's basically just making a promise to people. You're basically putting your word out there that you're going to deliver something, and you have a chance to deliver that thing. And if we, deliver a good product, people are going to come back, I believe, in droves. And so we're believing in ourselves. We're believing in our product. We're making a promise that we're going to deliver a real high-tea, patriotic, in-your-face, fun comic book. And if the people that we're marketing to get what they are thinking they're going to get, they're going to come back for the next book. And that's what crowdfunding is, I think.
Fantastic. All right, but I've been kind of talking a lot.
You know what is that you can hear the passion, Nile, and everybody out there in these two gentlemen's voices, and that you were talking about a movement, and movements, come and go. The titles of movements come and go. Yeah. But that spirit remains, you know, and also not only the spirit, but now you guys are on the verge of immortality because you're going to take something that that you wrote, Macho Man, and that you illustrated, Mutt, and you're going to have it. You know what I mean? For all time. And that's just the first. That's just the beginning.
Right.
And to the next one and the next one. And because of this sort of movement, this punk rock comics revolution that we're experiencing via, Indiegogo, via Kickstarter, but it seems like Indiegogo really seems to be blowing off the roof. I mean, the fans, the passion and the enthusiasm behind the fans, because I feel that it seems that a lot of the Indiegogo, the people that go to Indiegogo, seem to be more engaged with the fans. You look at Brian Polito, how Brian Polito's on every day. He's talking to the fans. They're his fiends. I don't know if you watch him. I mean, he's brilliant, and you see his passion, you see his honesty, you see how real he is. That seems to be like multiple though on Indiegogo. Like everyone seems to have that little bit of Brian Polito in them.
Right.
And then like you have EBS going on every day talking. Mm-hmm. Some of the guys going on talking and stuff like that. And it's really cool because I wonder if the fans out there, if you guys, I appreciate, because I watch them all too. I'm watching everybody all across. I'm sitting there drawing and I'm on YouTube all day. And like you were talking about and just, let's see whose show this is. I'll listen to that. I'll listen to that. Yeah. And it's cool. And I'm quiet in the room, but you see, like we have this great interaction even on our little show here that we're seeing our regulars come on, right, Nile? And it's cool. There's Lee Detworth. Hey, my old buddy Lee, it's great to have our little family that we're creating. And it's almost like this boutique way of publishing that you guys, and that you are so connected to the fans, is that they are like family. This is a hero family. You know what I mean? The hero revolution. HIRO, not HIRO.
Yeah, that's right.
The Patriots.
We call it the Hero Core.
Nice.
And they're going to get a patch. They're going to get a patch for the folks that ordered the swag pack. They're going to get a patch that says Hero Core on it. It's going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. And there are guys, they're the folks that are there every stinking day. And it's amazing. Every day it absolutely amazes me. Not only that people give a crap, just in the first place, but that these people are intense already. I mean, we're just now making this thing. It's in its birth, right? It's in its infancy, and they're already like loving it and like sending out tweets every 5 minutes. I'm always getting myself tagged in something about Hero and fan art. Oh my gosh, Macho, tell them about the fan art, dude.
Yeah, we just did kind of a contest, and we said, hey, we're accepting fan art. Put your fan art out. And, we knew that we had some people that were behind us and liked the book and liked us and the concept and everything. But we got absolutely flooded with incredible fan art by people that are just absolutely phenomenal artists. And it was very humbling to have this thing you created and you put it out there and have people draw it for you like that. It's been absolutely kind of surreal to be like known for something like this, and it's very it's just really humbling to have people know and respect you in that way. So it's really cool.
And you guys had some good support. I mean, Ethan Van Sciver just tweeted today, making sure people support your books. I mean, you guys have had some big names behind you.
Yeah.
I didn't know Ethan tweeted. That's cool, man.
I didn't know Ethan tweeted, but that's huge. But yeah, we had like Edwin has given us some shout outs. We're real good friends with Cal Jameson, who's the man behind Shinobi Sasquatch, and Vaughn with Monster MD and Narwhal.
Those are two future guests we have booked. Yeah, we got Cal coming on. I think Vaughn's Tuesday next week.
So Vaughn and Cal are both great. We're in the kids table crew with them. Narwhal, it's Plaster Harris on Twitter, who did Earthbound. Yeah. We hang with those boys in the DMs, and they let us come on the shows, and it's really cool to be a part of that group, and they've really helped us up, and that's kind of it's neat to see. Like, it's a very helpful place to be when you're crowdfunding. This whole movement, or whatever you want to call it, indie revolution, Comicsgate, whatever it is, there's a lot of people that want to see you succeed. and we feel that, and we feel that from big people and small people too. It's great to be a part of.
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah,
the
the trick
power
is
of a
to
community like incredible?
Yeah.
It is, but the trick is to stay out of the drama.
Well, true,
Yeah.
true.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, you get everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah,
As your name grows, you just get dragged in it. Like, you'll just be thrown into a conversation you have nothing about, but somehow your name's in there.
Yeah. You know, guilty. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Some guy's like, yeah, Billy, you know, I don't know, Billy's, you know, he's in his 60s, so he doesn't know when I'm 60. What is that?
You're only born in 81. How can you be 60?
That's right.
Exactly. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Let's do a check there for the Macho Dan.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, so, but yeah, you're going to have drama like that because people want to get themselves out there. Yeah. And some of them will resort to any means necessary to do that. And they don't care what they leave in their wake. Yeah. And just as an experience, now I'm new to Twitter too. I mean, I joined Twitter and Instagram, a long time ago. I joined Twitter 10 years ago, but I didn't start tweeting really till this summer. I just Twitter so I can get at Billy Tucci, and I just ignored it. I never did anything. I think it was attached to Facebook or something, but I never went on or anything like that. And then when I did, holy crap, wow, what a shit for my phone. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I got friends that are arguing with each other and stuff like that. And then you see, face to face, because people will tweet and type things that they'll never say. Hey, Matthew. Yeah. What's up, dog? It's my son, Matthew.
What up, Matthew?
What's up, Matthew?
What's up?
Mutt-Man and Macho Dan.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it. He's got it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a wrestler, Mike.
Need some new Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah.
Do you really?
That's awesome.
Ooh, yeah. So, Matthew, if we may interrupt, this is how my day's been going. Tell them what happened today. So Debbie, my wife's got a business meeting, so I take the boys to the diner. So what happened at the diner? So I'm starving because all I had was a shake all day because I got to lose like 10 pounds before saying it.
So he goes, hand me the pepper. I'm like,
So I get my hot open turkey sandwich, right? And I get my fries. And I get, I don't know, Nile, if you do this, I get my brown gravy in a cup on the side.
Yeah.
Because I'm dipping my fries in the brown gravy. I don't know if you Southern boys do that. But that's a thing we do. So I'm all excited. My food finally comes, and
he goes, pass me the pepper. And in my brain, I'm like, what's going to happen? The cap's going to be unscrewed. And so I give it to him, and he flips it over, and it was the entire thing. It wasn't even
like the whole thing, because I go like that. You know what I mean? For the pepper. So I'm like,
no, all I hear is, and I turn around, and he goes,
and I'm like,
did you order another one?
Damn kids, punks.
Punk kids.
I had to get. So then I had to have him bring my. The lady comes by and she's like, "Oh my son went scrape it off." So
no, spread it around. Like pound of pepper will just spread it around.
Yeah. So then I take it. If I apologize for deviating from this, but this is I just.
Good.
So finally she brings it back, and then she brings me back my thing, and now there's half the turkey that there was in the first. And there's no bread underneath it. What kind of hot open turkey sandwich doesn't have the bread? So it reminded me of time that we went out. I played hockey growing up. So I remember we would go out, my whole hockey team, when I was probably in 9th grade or something, the travel team, the parents and everything. And we're sitting at the table with the coach. And the coach takes, and we go, and the coach takes the salt. You know what I mean? And he goes, oh, wait, don't touch that, because people unscrew the cap. And then he takes the salt out of my hand. And, of course, the cap wasn't on, right? So he screws it back on like that. He's like, see, I got him. Friggin' kids. He puts it down. And he takes the milk, the cream to put it into his coffee. And he pours it. And a freaking pig. So that.
And this happened twice this month.
Yeah, and it
never happened in our life.
And it happened again twice. This damn punks. Damn punks.
Oh, yeah, get some sleep.
Oh, yeah.
How he runs and does it.
But I digress. So anyway, where the hell was I? Okay, hang on, I wrote something down. Oh no, I have a great idea for that.
That kid's got it, man. He's got star power written all over.
Yeah, he does. He's not shy, man. He's not shy at all.
One night he went on when it was like it was Valentine's Day, or the day before Valentine's Day, when we launched a Kickstarter.
Zombie
It might have
Sama.
been T-shirts, or it might have been for Zombie Sama when it first launched. And I had, this all on. And I went to go get my wife, flowers or whatever you do. And he came on. and, and he got it to like $25,000. He was just on for like
Is that for like a half? Yeah. I was at my drawing table drawing, and the thing pinged up. And I was like,
really?
and I knew you were out because we had talked that day because we were talking about some of the graphic stuff. And I'm like, he's back on already? And all of a sudden, it's his son. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm like, hey, what's up, buddy? Sell it.
Yeah, and he's just he's saying hi to everybody. He's looking at the thing. He's like, oh, my God, it reached $25,000.
Oh, man. You want to rent him out?
Yeah.
There you go.
$5.
Oh, easy. We got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so that's my story with that. Anyway, so, okay, enough about me. Can you tell us about Hero Blood of Patriots, guys?
Yeah, tell us the creative process and how you guys got into this.
What's that? Sorry, you broke
up.
I'm
sorry. I said, tell us about your creative process. How you guys came about creating the character or script, writing, and then get into the book itself.
Yeah. So the whole concept was from a bad fast food fueled dream I had. Like I must have eaten like a Big Mac or something like that, and I had this dream, and it was the droid in Empire Strikes Back in the beginning, the spy droid, and he's like floating through Hoth, right? And it's like kind of bulky on top. And I dreamed that there was like an Imperial spy droid, and he's holding like a dead body, and he's like pretending but he's in a supermarket or something like that, and he's trying to be human. The droid was holding this body, trying to make it do stuff and be human, like pretend to be human. And I told Mutt about this idea, and he's like, "That is crazy!" Like, and I thought he was like, "You are crazy," but he's like, we can maybe do something with this. And we started talking about it and talking about it and talking about it, and we just like distilled it down into this idea of kind of like almost kind of a Pinocchio situation, a machine trying to be human. And we grew it from there, and it turned from this weird machine into a device like reviving soldiers, and we just worked it out. And then I wrote the story, the basic story out, and then we worked together on getting everything nailed down visually, and then I come in at the end and clean up the dialogue, and that's a comic book.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds so easy, I guess, but it's really not.
That's all it takes.
When did you come up, Macho? When did you come up with it?
It's been like almost 5 years now.
Yeah, like 5 years ago we were talking about it. It was just something that was just kind of like sitting in marinating in our heads. Every once in a while we'd bring it up and talk about it. But then one day we were like, dude, let's just make it and see what we can do with it. So we put together a 16-page comic book, and I drew it, and he kind of wrote out like the whole, first 16 pages of the story. And that got us to where we are here now with Hero Blood of Patriots. And it was just kind of like where we just kept like banging it back and forth until we finally started. We kind of like worked the rough edges off of the idea and made it something we felt like we could make a couple of good stories out of.
Mm-hmm. And I'll provide the link if anybody wants to read it. If you guys would like to read it, I have the link to that, and I'll drop it in our little chat here. But we did 16 pages, and we've been giving that out free, just to try and show people that we're not just like some goons like scribbling on a piece of paper and passing it off as a comic book. Like we genuinely know how to tell a story and make a product. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So you did like a digital ash can of Hero, or is
That's
it
right?
different?
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
now, so when was the moment, boys, when you said, do you remember the moment when you said, by George, let's do this. Frig this. We're doing it.
I'll tell you.
Let's go. Yeah.
I'll tell you the moment that I got mad was when Steve Rogers said Hail Hydra.
Yeah.
Because I'm a patriotic guy. I never served and Macho never served, but we are total patriots as far as we are proud of our country. We believe America is the greatest nation on the face of God's earth. We believe in the freedom to do what we need to do to make a good living, and we're all about it. So for us, Captain America was a little bit sacred, And when when that story came out and he had been like a Hydra sleeper agent, for me, I was like, okay, something is wrong. People don't get it anymore. People have gone they've gone to this kind of like, bad place creatively with comics, with mainstream. And so I kind of got this fire in my belly to do something on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Under that, yeah. I mean, again, and it just screamed of desperation. It really did.
Oh, it's
it made
awful.
no sense whatsoever. You have someone like Captain America is the one that's supposed to, and he's human, and he has faults like everyone else, but he's the one that's supposed to embody all that's good.
Right. Exactly.
All that's good in humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And someone who has sacrificed again and again, the selflessness of him. And again, just to do that to seem like a cheap gimmick, an idiotic gimmick, and I'm really surprised by how the response to it, of course, and then they turned around and said, oh, it was, all the ruse, blah, blah, blah. But still, no, it wasn't. They knew exactly what they were doing. They believed this because that's how there are certain people that believe that.
Absolutely.
They believe that America is the cause of all ills in the world. The world would be so much better off if it wasn't for us.
Right.
And the million plus Americans who've died for another's freedom.
Right.
Because and again, you go back to this whole past week was with D-Day, or past month with D-Day in Normandy and everything like that. And that's something that really gets to me too. And General Mark Clark said, and I've been in Normandy twice, and you see at the American Cemetery where there are 10,000 crosses and Stars of David, lined up in these beautiful rows. And it says if there ever was a question as to whether we came as conquerors or liberators, let this be a testament to it, that the only conquered ground we asked to keep was enough to bury our gallant dead.
Oh, man.
And that's all asked.
Awesome.
A few acres to bury these heroes that came so far and fought for another's freedom when they had no personal beef with say Nazi Germany.
Right.
The Germans did bomb New York. They never did bomb Huntington, West Virginia. And these boys still went so far. And even in an extreme case with the most decorated unit of World War II, with the highest casualty rate, is the Japanese Americans of the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. Mm. And those men who their families were interned behind barbed wire by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And they were kept with machine guns pointing at them. And then they volunteered out of these camps to fight for another's freedom while their own families were stripped of their businesses, were stripped of their degrees, of their jobs, of their livelihoods, and sent into these internment camps. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And many of them died for another's freedom while their own families were locked up behind barbed wire.
Yep.
And if that shows that you name one country in the history of the world that's done that, aside from us, say, and 20th and 21st century Great Britain. No one has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and this book, it turned into kind of a thank you letter to the servicemen and women, those who have died and those who have also survived, like the vets that are out there that did put their lives on the line. And so we felt very strongly that was something that we needed to do, because this was a military book, and it is a book about patriots reanimating, and it kind of sounds a little like we didn't want to be like offensive at all. We really want people to know, and we've shared it with vets, we've shared it with people who have served, and we wanted them to know that this was coming from the best place possible, because those people served once and they died, and this is in the comic. It's a chance for them to serve again and finish the fight that they weren't able to do the first time. And so it was very special to kind of put the book together that way. So and
to add to that, there's a section. Well, there's an element to it that we want to make sure that we tell people too, especially when we're talking to veterans. There's an element to the electronics in the robot. So there's an AI that's in the robot that helps with battle plans and all that kind of stuff. So when the soldier's fight is over the second time, the AI will transmit the best memories of the soldier to the loved ones of the soldier. So they get to say goodbye in a very special way.
Mm-hmm. Here, hero.
Hero.
Now, for your very first crowdfunded book, your very first Indiegogo, I mean, this is an epic. I mean, you guys, you guys are pulling out all the stops. This is a big story. It's not.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I mean, good luck, Mutt-Man, with that.
Oh man, he's killing me. This dude is killing me.
Yeah, the days you just want to like,
Yeah.
So it's World War III.
Yeah.
The Russians are winning the war.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
the red threat.
Yeah, so the United against the West, the United States, in sheer desperation, it decides its only course of action to save democracy, I guess, is to reanimate humans as soldiers.
Yep.
And again, where it comes from a very important place with you, but now you have this warlord that ends up stealing it.
Yep.
So if you can walk us through it a little bit, please. From there, because it's really cool. This is friggin' awesome.
Yeah. So you said it, but I'm gonna hit you with our quick pitch, and you can read it on the Indiegogo. But this is it. America needs soldiers, and death is no excuse. The world is at war, and Russia's red threat is closing in. With limited options, the U.S. delves into the black science of reanimation. But when the experimental technology is stolen by a psychotic warlord, it's up to an unlikely team and an undead super soldier to stop him. Enter HIRO. Will it be America's salvation or its greatest sin? And yes, so it is big. There's a lot going on in this comic. So number one, we have the team who you're seeing right here. This is some pages from our zero issue or our preview issue. And we have... they have created this device. The device is stolen by Volk. Volk is Russian for wolf, and he is very much a Loki character in the comic. He is like so in chaos. And when it goes missing, there is, without giving too much away, there's a reason why the team and HIRO has to go, and they need to get it back. If this is in Volk's hands, then it's going to be used as a weapon. The technology is going to go to the wrong place, and America is going to be they're going to be living under communist rule. It's going to be a sad place and a dangerous place to be. So they're going on a mission to get this technology back and to stop this psychotic warlord and the people that are behind him to save the world, really.
Nice. I mean, you got another great tagline. It's better dead than red.
That's right. Better dead than red. Yeah, absolutely.
I love how this. I'm sorry, Nile.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, since we're getting into it, I was gonna for anyone that hasn't seen it, I was gonna play the video.
Yeah, please.
Oh yeah, do it.
All right.
Yeah.
So did you guys have that song made, or was that actually a song you found?
Well, we have a fantastic friend. His name is Doug Garrett.
Yeah.
Yep, and Doug made that for us. It was a gift.
Yeah,
Nice.
he just loved it. He loved the story so much. He just made us an awesome rock and roll song. That's another thing that we were just blown away by, by this awesome community of people.
Yeah.
Indie guys are the best.
Yeah, but you guys are real affable chaps. I mean, you could tell you're really good guys. So, and you're real. So, of course people are going to do stuff for you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We definitely didn't come in expecting that. We came in ready to, claw our way through, do everything ourselves. So when we were met with so many nice people doing so many cool things for us, we've just been consistently blown away by it.
Yeah. There's a guy in the chat as well, Simon Sim Pothier, who he just got funded today, his comic Blood Hunt.
Oh, right on.
And so he's actually he is very graciously offered. He actually did some HIRO fan art, and he's sending us a bunch of signed pieces of fan art, like 10 pieces for us to give away.
Yeah, give it as prints.
I mean, like people, give them away as prints. Like it's people like that, and we just we're not asking for it. It's just people generously doing that, and it's really nice to be part of the community that takes care of its own.
Yeah,
well,
I think Simon's a guest of ours next month
congratulations.
too.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's got a great looking book.
Yeah.
Another guy that I wanted to shout out was Sean R2D2 for life.
Yeah,
that dude
Sean.
he is a marketing madman.
He is.
I can always count on him to put out some really funny tweet that I didn't have to think of. and it's just great to be able to retweet that dude. I love it.
That's right. Yeah, he's a great friend, a great help in this whole campaign.
Yeah, we've seen him quite a bit in our chats on our shows.
Up,
I've seen him come through. And he says lots of celebrity endorsements made for HIRO.
That's right.
Well, now getting back to the story and Macho Dan, I'm gonna kill you. I see how yes, we're desperate. Let's reanimate these soldiers that physically they know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you use it because they've been there before and all, and their bodies are trained for war and for combat and stuff. But do you touch on the moral aspects of this? Like he was saying, you went to the veterans, you spoke to veterans, like, listen, we don't mean any disrespect.
Right.
Because that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
You're at this crossroads, like, well, America's in deep.
Right.
We're desperate. The West is desperate. But then we're like, oh my God, these guys already paid the price. These guys already done their thing. Like, so how did you approach that?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So I'll have to explain a little bit about the relationship between the robot piece of the puzzle that is HIRO and the soldier that's died. So the soldier that's passed away, when they are dying, usually it's in they're showing their bravery. They have courage, and they have whatever is going on in their brain that's helping them run towards danger, that's running towards a battle. Mm-hmm. And the HIRO unit that you'll see in some of those pictures, it's kind of, I always like to say, it's kind of like one of those Boston Dynamics robots. Like that's what it looks like when it's running around, right? Yeah. But it's able to move separately from the human, and it's able to actually scan the Mutt likes to say the residue that's left behind when the soldier dies, and it can kind of scan that brain and find that yes, this person was running towards danger, he was being brave, and it's choosing the soldier that way. If it sees somebody running away from danger, it's going to scan them and be like, no, not today. That's not the person we're looking for. So when it reanimates, it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. We like to say it's kind of like Venom, right? So there's Venom and there's Eddie Brock. Mm-hmm. So when the pack reanimates a soldier, it has a very complicated AI that's controlling it, and that's what's bringing that soldier back. But the soldier's still there too. Yeah. And with this, we're able to kind of it is kind of morbid, but we're able to give a chance for the soldier to finish his fight and then say goodbye. And that's where we thought was important to go past that point of is it moral or not with we're reanimating somebody that's died. We're able to give them a chance to say goodbye, and that was the goal with with kind of that whole theory of reanimating a soldier that's passed.
Yeah.
And when we've talked to a couple soldiers, there's one on FanSpeak we spoke with, and he was very, very kind and very excited about the idea and where we were going with it. And not only him, we've spoke to others as well, but that's kind of, I guess, where we're touching on that moral area. And we haven't had any negative comments that I'm aware of. But I don't know if you've got any.
Yeah, well, the book, the free zero issue, the ash can issue that you can download, it starts out with the Bible scripture that says, "Greater love has no man than he lays down his life for his friends." Mm-hmm. And we're really talking a lot about like courage and brotherhood. We're talking about sacrificing your own life for the sake of the greater good. And I think that's probably one of the best morals you could probably put in the story. It's very heroic. It's very we're making the red thread the bad guys. You know what I mean? Like it's not, we're taking not just communism. Think about it like Cobra and G.I. Joe. Think about Cobra as super communists.
Yeah.
That's the red thread.
Yeah. Well, an interesting thing, it just reminded me, and James O'Barr, the creator of The Crow, he's a Marine. And I think he's on the he was a member of the first 9th Marines, and they literally their motto was "The Walking Dead." Cool, you know what I mean? For these, well, and I think that dates back to like Tarawa or something.
Wow.
Because of the Pacific battles. Lost so many, and they just kept fighting on and on until there really was just how many of them were left, and they and he did an illustration for me once, a Sergeant Rock, and gave it to me as a gift.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice. That's awesome. And you'll see that in this book. Like, you'll see HIRO fighting till he literally can't anymore, like missing pieces and all. Yeah. And that's what the heart and the soul of a soldier is. Yeah. Is fighting until you can't fight anymore, and that's what you're going to get with HIRO, and you'll see that bleeding through.
That's great. Now with your book now. Do you have more of a creative team? I mean, did you guys do all the coloring and lettering, or did you bring anyone else on for that?
We've had colorists that we've had to do the coloring. I've done some of the coloring that you see maybe in the posters, but for the most part, we've had people color it. We've had a couple of different colorists. We've actually got a stretch goal in place right now. If we can get to $5,500, then we can hire a colorist for the full book.
Yeah, less than $1,000.
Yeah. So we're really hustling to get there because, man, I mean, like that would save me so much time and effort. I would actually be able to sleep for 3 months.
Yeah. And the book will be out faster and the colors will be better. It's going to be awesome. If we're able to do that, it's going to be great.
Nice.
Well, Nile, as you say, guys, if you could please share, if you guys can pledge, of course, but more importantly, if you can't, and we get it, because we are literally, I mean, the good news is that this is this new golden age of self-publishing and creator-owned work. The flip side of that coin is that now we're getting hit with a glut of them. And there's a lot. People are in the 90s again with comics. I mean, that they were putting out 3,000 comics a month through Diamond Comic Distributors. Because, these other people want to do their books and things like that. So you're in a glut, not unlike our YouTube channel, where, Nile, we're on prime time, where there are so many other big guys.
That happens.
But you'll see our show every day, or every couple after our after show. Our numbers keep going up and up.
Oh, I always watch it.
Appreciate you coming on our show when you do your own, or you can go on someone else's or something like that. But please, guys, share this. If we can get that $5,500 stretch goal, and and Mutt-Man can sleep, and
do it for Mutt. Do it for Mutt.
Throw Mutt a bone. Come on, guys.
Throw him a bone, because all that time that he's putting into the coloring, he could be drawing pages, drawing even the next one.
Working on issue 2.
And that's absolutely get those books out. This is a business, and we hope our friends, and what's cool is that we've made so many great new friends here, and I consider you guys friends. Man, I want to hang out with you guys for sure.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
You're invited to Thanksgiving. It's great. It'll be great.
I think we're having like 30 people for Thanksgiving. We talked about that today. No, do you guys, if you guys, drink beers or smoke cigars or anything like that, we've got to do this, man.
Yeah,
You
I'm
guys
not much
hitting
of a-
any conventions or anything? I mean, you guys going to try to hit the circuit?
We want to have a comic book first. Once we have a comic book, I think we'll start hitting the scene.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we can hit $5,500, when do you think the book can actually be in people's hands?
Ooh, that's a tough one, Mutt.
Well, November is when we promise to deliver. So one way or the other, they're going to get their comic book in November. That's my promise.
Yeah.
There you go.
If we can, if we can get it out faster, we will.
Yeah.
But it'll be November for sure.
That's not a bad time frame, really.
Yeah, it's a good.
I mean, he's already done a lot. We had a meeting last night, and we covered a lot of ground with our villain actually, and it was pretty exciting meeting. And then we actually talked about issue 2, which is exciting as well. So we're still we're many steps ahead, and we want to continue that trend. But we want to focus on this and have this succeed in the best way possible, so that issue number 2 will be that much better. That's
right on.
So I have to ask, because as a creator myself, and I'm sure Billy can attest to this, you start working on things, right? But then even as you're being creative and you're solely focused on something, those ideas can sometimes lead to maybe other ideas. Have you guys, been going through stuff and like, oh, I had an idea. Oh, that'd be great for another book. Yeah, let's write that down. Maybe we'll work on that one after or something. So basically, I guess my question is, what is the future of HIRO? And do you guys have anything lined up, other characters or other stories, aside from, let's say, the HIRO verse, and that you may be working on?
Yeah, we do. So our plan for HIRO is 3 volumes, is what we like to do. It'll just be a trilogy that will wrap up, we hope. I mean, it could continue on, right? But 3 volumes that we want to finish first. That's our goal. And then we do have some characters. I like to joke that I send Mutt one good idea and about 100 bad ideas a week. And so I'm constantly sending him stuff, and he'll be like, "No, that is garbage. Don't tell me about it again." And then sometimes he'll be like, "That one's all right. I like that," and we'll write it down in the book, and it's for later use. And so I know there's stuff that he's going to do solo, but we have a big runway and a lot of material that we're going to be able to cover together. And we work really well together. We've known each other for a long time. We trust each other. Our kids and our wives hang out. Like it's kind of a family. And so when you find somebody that this is going to sound really sappy, but it's really cool to
they're in love.
Yeah, exactly. But when you find somebody you can trust like that has your back, it really does make the process easier. And I've gotten that out. I've gotten that out, and now I won't say it anymore.
Oh, that's sweet.
Wow.
Caught in a bad romance.
So is your wife cool with this, Macho? I mean,
you know what? She's not 100% cool with how much time I spend talking to.
No.
They were talking a day, and she probably gave him an earful.
Oh, she gives me a hard time all the time. She's like, he needs to actually think about other things in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
I get that.
Happened. You're publishing. My wife and I broke up because I was so focused on she, and I knew exactly what I had to do.
Yeah.
And I went to school. We met at college, and it was the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City, and she was a business major, and I was an art major. So then, but my mother had her own business and stuff, so I kind of intuitively knew what I wanted to do and what I felt I had to do. And I remember we would just butt heads because she's like, that's not the way of doing things. I'm like, no, but this is different. I can do this. And I was so thin. And then she got a little pissed off at me. And, then lesson learned, So, I smartened up and got back. But but you can get so focused on your laser beam, but you have to.
Yeah.
Do something great, and Mutt. I mean, I know going to have times like, oh, honey, let's go to dinner with the Joneses. You know what I mean? Like, no, I got to talk to Dan. Is Dan going?
Yeah.
Oh, Dan's not going. Dan and Janie aren't going. Like, and I can't make it. It's because you have to get, but also you also owe it to your partners. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I look at our crowdfunding supporters, our backers. They're like our partners because it is really great. A symbiotic, relationship that that you depend on one another. They want your product, you want to give it to them. Mm-hmm. It's like I said, it's like punk rock. It's very human. It's very hands across the internet shaking hands. There's a physical connection because you're going to come up with something and you're going to put your heart and your soul on this book. You know what I mean? Right here. Yep. And you guys are going to be together on a weekend. And you're going to be packing these books up, and you'll be signing them, whatever like that. And then you're going to drop them off at the post office. And then someone in Peoria, Illinois.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
And he's going to open it up, and then he's going to be holding something you two guys thought of, as a cool, fun idea 5 years ago, and now you did it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, there's nothing better in the world than when someone sees. And Nile, I'm trying to tell you this too. Get that damn book out. It's a great satisfaction of having someone come up to you with something you created and a self-created book, and they come to you and they ask you to sign it or they say thank you for this. And then you're like, no way, man, thank you. What are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So there will be that because again, as we were talking to Ron Randall and Macho, you're going to see this when the writing department is open, the marketing department's closed.
Oh yeah.
But when the art department is open, the shipping department's closed.
Right.
You're doing this together, and the fans get it though. They understand that. And not everyone could be Brian Pulido and getting a book out 2 months after his Kickstarter ends. That's like impossible.
Yeah.
He is such a professional, and he is so laser beam focused. And Francisca, his wife, and their staff, they're like a family. Just got these great, brilliant books. 4 of them a year.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And you guys can do it too. Every one of you out there. The next Brian Pulido is out there watching right now. You two guys.
Yeah. And I will say, we're both incredibly lucky. My wife is 100% has my back. Like I ran in, I was at work late, riding bikes, if you can believe that. I get in the door. I have half a Chick-fil-A sandwich. I run downstairs to get on this stream. I literally kiss her and kiss my kids and ran down here to do this. And she's like, just go do good. And it's I know a lot of people have had issues with their marriage or whatever because of that. And I'm incredibly fortunate to have that kind of backing. Mm-hmm. And it's going to show through in the product too. Like I believe people are going to read the book and feel that, it was a happy guys with a lot of drive and a lot of vision made this book. I truly believe it. And I can't wait to feel when somebody says, thank you for this book. Yeah. Like you describing that is such a dream to be able to have that happen. And it's, man, it's going to happen one day. It's going to be awesome.
You've done it. I'm telling you, your next one's going to double this book.
Yeah.
Maybe triple it, quadruple it.
Oh man, come on, buddy.
I'm telling you.
Well, you're growing a fan base right now. You guys are growing a true fan base right now, and no pressure before your book's actually even out. So I mean, you've presented enough to really, it's intriguing. The art's great, the story, the concept, the story arc that it has been presented. I mean, it's just an awesome, fun escapism book.
That's what we want to do.
Something great. Go in there, kick some ass. Machines, humans. For me, machines, humans, explosions, guns. I mean, it's fun. You know. I love it.
Yeah,
exactly. You're not going to get that in the real world. You're going to
let. But it also has that heart and that moral. That moral, the moral, what's that called? The scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do we do? Can we save America? But is this right thing to do?
Right.
It's what America's, and you guys are tackling that. So you're making a really thought-provoking project too. And again, with battles and all this stuff. And Like I said, good luck, Mutt-Man.
I gotta tell you, we do these shows, Billy, and every episode we meet all these great new creators, the guys that are starting off fresh, like these virgins here, popping their comic book cherries, and we've got guys that have been 35 years in the industry and more, and I mean, just the passion is consistent on all levels. And again, I said something earlier, like it's amazing what this community does in the indie community, because we just motivate each other. It almost is like being part of like one big business, but with small little, everyone's their own little business, but it's like this big umbrella of just support.
Yep.
I've been talking to people a lot about comics, like why comics, because some people because I'm a storyteller, right? Macho's a storyteller. There's lots of ways you can tell stories nowadays. So you can do lots of different things, but why comics? And for me, it's just something that's always been there. I've never been able to get over it. It's like the medium of choice for me. And when you ask me what the greatest storytelling medium is, I'm going to say 100% of the time it's comic books.
Yeah. Movies haven't got there yet. Even animation hasn't got there yet. I was just watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and it's an amazing feat, right? Like it is. I think it's probably one of the greatest animated features of all time. And it's still using the same things that comic books use. It's using words that flash up. It's using the same kind of framing. It's using the same kind of like storytelling dynamics. And it just, like as a society, as a culture, we haven't surpassed comics yet. Comics are still the premier #1 way to tell a story.
Yeah.
It's still words and pictures.
And it is American mythology, and Atomic Elbow is an all-American company. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
100%.
Embodied.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah, you guys are doing Silver Age stuff, which sparked the image revolution.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because they wanted to hark back to that. Why not have robots and explosions and machines? You know what I mean? And the undead and crazy, groovy, fun stuff. That's what comics is all about. Yeah. And that's why I feel that, I think I'm lucky because I have been doing this so long, and I am friends with people from all abroad, all across the spectrum. And we literally are all on the spectrum. Trust me, I can tell everyone. Stay with the positivity. Stay away from the toxicity. Don't get involved in some of the spats, because there's 3 sides to every story.
Right.
And just you're friends with this guy, and hey man, I'm friends with him. Or you can't I'm sorry, I'm friends with him. You know, someone let's say wrong you. Stay positive. Stick with there are a lot of great EBS. You know what I mean? There's guys like that, great positive guys, and just stick with that. Stick with your friends. Stick with the cool. We've had all of our guests have been great. Which, we've had great guests, and they've really, they're all over. You know what I mean? The pendulum swings back and forth with our guests. Right. And from our guys that hate Comicsgate to the guys that like Comicsgate, and we've been real fortunate, right, Nile? We've had
in our eyes, I hope no one takes the wrong way in our eyes, but like that stuff doesn't exist. We just see great creators,
right?
Yeah. We're not like, oh, you're part of this, part of that. No, like you've got an awesome book. You're a great creator. Like, let's be friends. And that's all we really see. And people will throw you into the drama. And you just stay out of it. Like I said,
we love everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
and if somebody's
cool.
a dick, you say, you're a dick. That's stupid. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, and ultimately, like, our comic is for everybody. They're like, anyone can purchase it. If anybody wants to buy it, I'll sell it to you. Can be any shade, race, religion, from anywhere in the world. I don't care. I want you to read it and enjoy it, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Even Michael Jordan said, why don't you talk about politics? He's like, Republicans buy sneakers too.
Yeah,
that's right.
I get involved in political spats for you, for someone else's enjoyment or their negativity. Right. And Nile, we had Sora Sarong. How do I say her last name?
Sora
Song. And Sora is a psychology. She has a degree in psychology, a master's in it. Wow. And it was at a really particular time. Something flared up. One of them stupid things that flared up, and that some idiot from not even in the comics industry was calling someone a homophobe or a racist, something stupid, and there was nothing to back it up. And we asked her, and Nile asked her, he's like, well, you're a psychologist, you're a psychologist. What do you think? And she said, well, that there are certain people that they are so unhappy in their lives, for one reason or another, that they have no other course of action but to lash out at everyone else and try to make them miserable too.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
and just wipe out the noise. Like I said, atomic elbow. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's
my
it-
wife's a psychologist, so I get that. She tells me that stuff all the time. Keeps me
Yeah.
pumped up.
And it's easy to get sucked in, but anyway, but I digress again. So,
Yep.
all right, Macho Dan,
Yes,
what
sir.
is your writing process? Do you work in full scripts? Do you use Microsoft Word? Do you use Final Draft? How do you write a script that you get to the Mutt-Man?
Yeah, so I actually sent a little story about like a biography thing to somebody, and I was writing about myself, and so I had to tell him this, and it's something that I've kind of become proud of because I'm very unconventional. Like my scripts are not clean. My scripts are not like what you would expect a comic script to end up looking like. And I struggled for most of my life with ADHD. I struggled with not being able to focus. I got medication thrown at me, like when I was in school, when I was growing up, and to this day, I still struggle. So when I write, it's very unconventional. I pretty much word dump everything in my head. I got to get it all out as quickly as I possibly can. Everything that I'm thinking, all my ideas. And sometimes it's very incoherent to anybody but me when I'm putting this stuff out. And then I go back through it and I try to organize it in bites that I can send to Mutt that he can like in chunks and paragraphs. And it's not a traditional way to do it, but it's a way that's worked for me and for the things that I have struggled with. And I say that to say that my compulsion to create has made me find a way to be productive in this manner. So that's kind of how I do it. I just dump it all out, and then I go through and I whittle it down to all the good stuff or the things that I think are good, and I organize it, and I usually send it to Mutt, and then we'll talk about it. Now, as far as dialogue and stuff goes, yes, I do come back and I try to script that as a this person's name and this is the line, and this person's name and this is the line, so that it would be like a script that you would typically read. But it's something that I've had to work with like my whole life, and like I said, it's something that a lot of people would probably really turn their nose up. I'm not good at grammar. I'm not good at punctuation, but that's how it works for me, and it's worked well for us as a team. So yeah.
And that's why you have editors.
I was just going to say, that's what
Yep.
editors are for.
Yep, exactly. Absolutely.
I love this 60s vibe because you guys just have this 60s vibe. I know you have the Deathlock and and Captain America and even throwing a little the aliens thing, but just an aliens type of a whole vibe to it. But it's when I first looked at it and I scrolled through, the pages look great, Mutt-Man. They really do. But it's got a real cool 60s vibe, and you guys are almost doing what Stan and Jack did. You're almost in a Marvel style of creating.
Man, Billy, you couldn't have said a nicer thing to me, and that makes me feel so good.
That's right. That made my day too. And you're right.
Well, I'm telling you what I see. I'm not, blowing smoke up your ass.
Yeah, that's like that. Truly, that's how we work it a lot of times. And I'm glad that you were able to pull that out of it.
I think everyone does. I think everyone sees that. Now, Mutt, does this allow you a sense of creative freedom then? That like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I lay down the tracks to keep Macho like on the track. You know what I mean? Like I have to draw this stuff that he sends me. So like I lay out a page and then I say, okay, this is how the story is going to flow visually. A lot like how you hear Jack and Stan did things. Stan would just come in and give Jack the story, and it would probably a lot of times, especially in the heyday of Fantastic Four, would not be in script format. And Jack would go in and basically do the story, and then Stan would come back in and do the dialogue, and he would do the editing. Well, what we do basically is Macho does the story, right? He creates the story. I go in and try to make visually what he's given me, and then we go back and we kind of piece it all together, and we make sure that it makes sense and it flows well visually and with words.
It's working. It looks good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's looking great. So, I don't know, Nile, do you want to have some fun with our guys now and ask some fun questions? And
Yes, so now we're going to do the pants verification everyone was asking for.
Yeah, I was getting on the roll with the whole, with the negativity. Because I didn't draw, I was on, and I didn't write today really. I was putting together books, and I was basically scrolling through social media, and I just can't. The toxicity pisses me off, and and these guys are like babies, you know what I mean, and gals. It seems like so. That's why I had that in my head. So forgive me. I'm as you know, I was doing cover all day. I was in like, oh, this is great, and now I'm like, man, that son of a bitch. Why would he say that? But so maybe we could have some fun. And Macho Dan, if I may, what is life like to be a professional mountain bike rider? What is that about?
Yeah, it's it may not be quite as glamorous as it sounds, but I do get paid to ride a bike. So that is pretty cool. So basically, I work for a shop that we are professional guides. I'm the bike guy, part of the business. And so people will come. I've had people this month from Sweden. I've had people from all over the place. Literally, I've had people from all over the world. But this month it was Sweden. I had some people from just up the road from us, and I've had people from out of state. And what happens is they come in and they say, "This is where we are skill-wise. This is where we are." Like with fitness-wise, and then I basically design a ride, and I'll take them. Sometimes I'm teaching. I do a lot of skills development. I do a lot of like private lessons and things like that. And then sometimes I'm just out all day taking some people on some kooky, like crazy 25-mile backcountry mountain bike ride. And so I got to be the mechanic. I got to be the cheerleader. I got to be the ride leader. I got to do everything. And it's hard work, but it is awesome. My two passions in life are riding a bike and creating comics, and I'm able to do both right now. So I'm a pretty happy camper.
That's
awesome.
Really cool, man. What kind of bike do you ride?
I ride a Gorilla Gravity Smash, and it's a 160 front, 145 rear, full suspension mountain bike. It's made in Denver, Colorado. So
nice.
Handmade in Denver. Pretty killer. Yeah.
Yeah, I just changed the chain on my Huffy. It has no suspension.
Yeah.
But it does have a radio on it. If you
How do you know what a Huffy is? You didn't have Huffy growing up.
I had Huffy, bro. My Huffy had a radio on it.
I had a Huffy Thunder Road.
Ooh. I have a 59 Huffy Eldorado hanging on the wall above my workbench at work. It's pretty killer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's a beautiful bike.
I drove a Mongoose.
Yeah, there you go. Now I've got a Trek in the garage.
Okay,
with
right
full
on.
suspension. It's not bad.
Yeah. Fuel or a what is it? Remedy?
I don't know. It was given to me.
It's probably a fuel.
Probably. A buddy of mine, actually a guy that works for me, he's huge into mountain biking. He races competitively with a single speed.
Yeah, those guys are
he's
crazy.
Insane.
There's something wrong with every single speed racer. Like 100%, there's something wrong with all of them.
So why do you now? I ride motorcycles. I've been riding motorcycles since I was 7 years old. I used to race dirt bikes and started mini bikes and 50 cc's. Why do you shift in the bikes? The same thing. Like if you're going to shift, you got to shift down to low to go up a hill. And is that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So it's index shifting. And so my bike has 12 gears on the rear. It's a single ring up front. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to just shift up to the bigger rings and climb a hill and down to the smaller rings when I go fast. Like I love to, I use the bike. I get up the mountain. I don't do it happily, but I get up so I can go down as fast as possible. Like enduro racing or downhill is kind of the segment of the sport that I love, and it's more gravity oriented. So it's like that adrenaline. And like I said, I'm ADD, and a lot of adrenaline inducing sports help focus people. There's a lot of like research on that, and it's something that's worked for me, and it's why I'm able to do this job is because I do that. Like that's what I was doing before I got on the show. Mm-hmm. And it helps me focus. And for the next 24 hours, I mentally feel better. And so it's worked professionally for me, and I don't have any plans of changing.
Oh, wow. Have you ever done competitive, like actually been sponsored or anything like that?
Yeah, I have had some very like small sponsorships. The company that I currently ride with is, like I said, it's called Gorilla Gravity, and they have supported me for a number of years. Mm-hmm. I'm not like getting full, like they're not paying me and they're not giving me 100% full products, but I do get like factory support, and I don't pay what everyone else pays, which is incredible. And I have had some other companies in the past support me. So I have raced semi-competitively, not like super serious. And I've placed okay. I do much better in longer endurance style races than I do in like straight up single run downhill races and things like that. But it's a fun sport, and the people they're just so laid back and cool, and it's a really cool industry, and it's 100% different from the comics industry, right? Like I don't know how I could be in two different forms of in two different industries, but I've figured out how to do it, and it's been really rewarding for me as a person.
Wow, man, I'm happy to hear that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The great Antoine Dennison said, "I have a banana seat with glitter."
So I have a bike with a banana seat, and I put 2 gears on it, and it steers backwards. So if you turn the bars right, the wheel turns left, and I'm the only one in the world that can ride it that I know of. Anyway.
So do you collect bikes?
I have a sort of a problem collecting bikes and bike parts. Yeah.
Well, that said, so Mutt-Man, what do you do?
I drive a minivan, and I draw comic books.
An extreme minivan.
Oh,
You
dude,
should have started with him.
I'm not nearly as cool as Macho. He's definitely the cool one of the group. I just kind of stay, chained to my desk and just stay on the Wacom all day.
Yeah.
Nice. What kind of Wacom are you using?
I got the Cintiq Pro 13.
Oh, very good. That's a great tablet.
Yeah, I really like it a lot. It's a little bit glitchy on the cables, though. I think I need to get new cables. But
is that how your process is? Do you draw your whole books digitally? Yeah. Your creative process. Now we learned how Macho gets you the story and things like that. Then what do when you take it? Where do you go from there when you get it?
Okay, so like I thumbnail on paper with a pencil. I do my thumbnails paper and a pencil, and then I scan them in and I bring them in digitally, and I do most of my pages digitally. But I do work traditionally also, and some of these pages, some of our tiers are going to be for original art. So there'll be probably, I think, 7 or 8 pages out of the book that I'm going to do traditionally, and then the people that have backed those perks will get those original pages. Nice. But yeah, I like to start it out I kind of treat it traditional, even though it's digital. Like I'll start out with blue lines, I'll do my blue lines, and then I'll go in with pencils, and then I'll go in with inks. So I kind of treat it traditionally, even though it's digital.
Oh, nice. Yeah, a lot of guys use that process. They rough it real quick on paper, scan it in, and then they take it digital from there.
Yeah. I need to do digital just for the efficiency, especially with the timeline that we've got. So it definitely helps me be more efficient.
Oh, sure.
All right. So let me ask you guys: do you believe in ghosts? Have you seen Sasquatch riding in the woods, or ever get chased by a UFO?
I've been chased by a bear.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
like a black bear?
Yeah, black bear. Yeah, we have a lot of black bear.
Yeah.
It actually, a cub ran towards me, and as the cub we thought it was a black lab, and as it got closer, it was bear. And Mama Bear wasn't far behind, so we got out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you got to watch out for is the mama bears.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't attack people because, the cubs get out and.
Yep, the cubs, like if you're ever between them, that's when you get out of there. Typically, though, they're afraid of us, so you can just make a lot of noise. Like I usually will just scream, "Hey bear," and they'll run away. So.
It's people from Sweden saying, "Ooh, you just said, hey bear."
Yeah, hey bear. But you asked about ghosts, and I don't know. There's got to be something out there, but my mom swears to me that this house that I used to live in was haunted. She swears to me, and she's told me the story about she saw this lady walk through this wall in the house when I first bought it, and she never told me until we moved out. So she was like, "You just bought the house. I didn't want to tell you it was haunted." So yeah, and she told me after we moved out, and I was like, "Thanks, Mom."
How about you, Mutt-Man?
I don't know if I believe in ghosts, man. I've kind of have a pretty traditional sense of belief. I don't think there's any ghosts out there. I think it's all a bunch of people's imagination.
Well, I got to tell you a funny story. Is one of the how Carthesisis of how how Nile and I got to this show.
Yeah.
Now my house is haunted. We have an old Victorian, and my brother was killed in a car accident when he was 17. And we hope it's my brother. He's a good ghost. But Nile came up to me and said, "Didn't you ask?" Right? You said, "Is your house haunted?"
Yeah, we were just talking. We were talking. And I was like, I don't know. We were talking about something. I was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, is your house haunted?"
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, usually when I'm talking to Billy, he's working on something, and he looks at you.
Yeah.
What do you mean? And I was like, what? It's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, I was, I went, we were out on the deck hanging out, we're having cigars, drinking some beers, and I went to use the restroom. And as I'm walking in, he's got, and I'm passing by the living room there, and I thought there was a guy sitting in there, so I wanted to look to see who it was, if it was Roger or one of the guys, hey, and I do like, I'm like, I swear I saw someone. And I'm like, I go in the bathroom, I'm like, I know I saw someone.
And I'm like, oh my God, yes, my house is haunted. You did see the ghost.
Yeah.
Because everyone sees them. And we never, my wife, we never talk about it, but people see them and they play jokes and would do things to my kids and hide toys and things like that. So,
Yep.
I never believed in that until like, wow, I think I might believe in ghosts too.
Yeah. Our house that we had moved out of so the original, one of the rooms was a log cabin. Like we tore it down and saw the log. So it was a log cabin that got built onto, and the deed to the property that shows that cabin was in the birth of America, 1776, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So that house is super old, and the guy that was beside me, he rented the house beside me, and he said that was his grandparents' house. And there's a room upstairs, and he said, "Have you been into Miss Spook's room yet?" And I was like, "No, it's Miss Spook's room." And it was this room with a door to the attic. And that's what he called it, was Miss Spook's room. Well, my mom said when she was pulling up to help us like clean the house, like we were getting ready to move in, we just like signed the papers, we got the keys and everything. We pulled up, and she said that she was waiting for me to get there, and she looked in her rearview mirror and saw what she says is an old elderly lady come out of she sees them through the glass of the house, come out of one room, which was part of the bathroom, and walk through this room where it's all glassed on the side, and then go into that room that was the old, like the part of the cabin from 1776. And she said she left. She like freaked and drove away, and then came back later after I was there, and she didn't want to go inside. And I remember to this day her being weird about it. Yeah, she said that 100% it was haunted the whole time, and I never knew.
I think your Mama Dukes may have been a sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. My wife, right? So I've, me and my wife, we start dating, whatever. She's over my apartment at the time, and like a scary like preview came on the TV. And this was probably like dating for like a week, right? So she's so scared of these things. Literally, the preview on TV, I turn over, she's crying. She's freaked out. She can't handle scary things. So then a couple years later, we go to Newport, Rhode Island, right? And there's this place called the White Tail Tavern or something, or the White Horse Tavern. And she knows I like ghosts, so she sucked it up. And we did a tour, and we went to a place that the Ghost Adventures just filmed at, and then we went over here. And I was like, well, what's up with this building? And they're like, oh, the story is, there's a girl, and, she passed away. She was in a white gown, blah, blah, blah. And, one of those typical stories. And I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. So my wife just all of a sudden, well, my girlfriend, my wife now, but, at the time, my girlfriend, starts taking photos. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I don't know, I'm just taking photos. The next morning, right, we're getting dressed in the hotel, and I hear, Nile. And I'm darting across the hotel room. She's like, what is that? What is in that picture? I'm like, there's a girl in that photo. That's cool. You caught a ghost.
Oh.
And we posted it like on Facebook and on the ghost tour thing. And they're like, holy cow, you guys actually caught it. And she was just like freaked out. Just completely freaked out.
No shit.
She still can't look at the photo.
It's got to be on our Halloween episode.
I know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great episode.
That's awesome.
So, all right, guys. So we have made it to an hour and a half. See what happens. Time goes by way too fast. Right. We're still talking. I don't know. So tonight we've got a crowdfunding call out. And actually this call out came from a creator that I had just kind of, I got a message on Twitter today, checked it out, thought it was actually really cool. You guys said you're familiar with this creator as well. So I'm going to pop this up here. I'm going to play the videos for you guys. So this is the Black Tiger Legacy of Fury, the graphic novel.
Tiger. 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 Tiger.
Damn.
That looks great. Come
That
on,
was
guys.
freaking sick.
That's
wow.
good.
So guys,
146 pages. Jeez.
wow. That is freaking nuts. I love the music that was in that. So all right, guys, if you can, get a chance, this is a Kickstarter here for Black Tiger Legacy of Fury, the graphic novel. They're at $3,573. $5,000 is the goal.
They're so
it's only
close,
seven.
man.
So they're close. They're close.
Yeah.
70 hours
Yeah.
to go. Check it out in your spare time. Take a look at this. If you can, share it. If you want to
Absolutely.
back it, obviously, all the better. But a cool saga little story here. So, all right, guys. I think this has been a great show, man. Thank you guys so
Absolutely.
much for coming on. I'm glad we were able to connect. And again, keep us in the loop with what you have going on.
Yeah.
You are
Love
now
it.
part of the Crowdfunding Comics family. So whenever you got anything
Yes.
coming on, you want to be a part of
All
the
right.
show, shoot us an email. If there's anything
Very
cool.
cool.
going on that you don't think came across our table, send it over. We're
Okay.
booking constantly. As you know, as we have gone back and forth and dates and this one's booked, that one's booked. We've got so many great people coming on. So again, man, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Had a great time with you.
Thank you.
Hey, it was a real pleasure, guys, and
Yeah,
you two
absolutely.
put on a fantastic show. This thing is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. I know it's going to be humongous. I can't. This is 30. I think this is number 30 that you guys
Yeah,
have
you're
done
part of our
already.
Dirty
30.
Dirty 30.
You guys are rocking and rolling, and we really appreciate you guys letting us come on
Yeah.
here and talk about our little comic book, man.
Yeah.
It's just going to be so much fun.
And anytime, and please, when it comes time to, you guys are getting ready to ship it out, let's have you guys back on,
Okay,
Show the
yeah.
books, we'll show the rewards, all that. And
Yeah.
like I said, anytime you guys want to come on, And I think we'd like to get your mom on, Macho Dan.
Okay, yeah, she's awesome. She'll keep you guys entertained for hours with stories.
I don't know, man. I'm probably sitting here and I'll be like, "What is she staring at?" And she'll be like, "There's someone behind them."
Yeah.
Kyle, don't turn around.
We can dress Frank in like a green morph and just have him do something around. Mr. Producer, our Frank Amazing.
Working remotely tonight.
Well, thank you guys. Great luck.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Got how many hours did we have left? Did we have 2 days left? I guess you guys
Right
said?
at 2 days. Right at 2
Yeah,
days.
you guys have 2 days left.
And we'll be in demand. So if you can't back it now, please back it soon. Download that 16 pages if you haven't read the book before. And I will. I don't know if you're able to click it. I'll drop it in the chat. If you're able to view it, it's free. Enjoy it. And yeah, we appreciate it so much, guys. It's an honor to talk to y'all, and thank you so much. I'm looking forward to Cigar Time whenever that happens. Let me know.
Well, at your first Comic-Con, we're doing it. I don't know.
All right.
Hey, we'll be at Heroes Con next year, man. That's the goal.
I'll be there too, man. South Carolina Comic-Con is in March. That's also another fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So I don't know if you guys want to drive down to South Carolina, but
It's not that crazy far. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand, Mr. Tucci.
well, and I'm looking forward to hugging you guys.
I'll take one of those too.
And I'm looking
I'll
forward to
like
standing like 13 feet away, real creepy, watching it all.
Oh, man, you got to bring it in. You just got to bring it in.
Bring it in. See, Mutt-Man gets it.
Group hug.
Group
I'm a
hug,
hugger.
man.
I'm a hugger, baby.
We all are.
But listen, you guys are fantastic. You guys got a great future. I'm proud of you. I got to tell you, to have
Good
your
stuff.
first book that you've ever done, you hit your goal. You're going to make this book. Your next one will be triple at least. And you're on your way, boys. You are
Sir.
far away.
Enjoy the ride, fellas, and keep
Very
us
much.
in with you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
now-
everyone. Have a great night, and we will see you next week. Our guest Monday is Cal with Shinobi Sasquatch.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Can you do it now?
I just did it. Ooh, yeah.
I think Mutt-Man is pretty damn good too.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
All right.
Matthew, can you give us an oh yeah? Matthew!
Wake up.
Fortnite. Matthew, give us an oh yeah! Give us an oh yeah! He goes, Dad, I'm in top 2. I got to get this win.
Good luck, Matthew.
All right, everyone. Have a great night. And
Keep it on.
yes, we'll see you Monday.
See you guys soon.
All
See you.
right. Good night, guys.
Have a good night, everyone. Hey guys, thanks again for tuning into Crowdfunding Comics. We look forward to hanging out with all of our crowdfunding fans every time we go live. And don't forget to click the link below and subscribe to our channel. And there's a little bell. You may want to hit that too. This way you get all the great notifications when we go live and when we upload some awesome content. You want to follow us? Sure, go right ahead at Twitter at CrowdFundComics with an X, Instagram Crowdfunding Comics, and Facebook at Crowdfunding Comics. Till next time, crowdfunding fans, we'll see you soon.